Alright, so next car I have for you is a 2015 Kia Sorento. This one has the 4-cylinder and the all-wheel drive system. So basically what I'm doing here is helping you figure out what to look for when you're going around a used car that you're looking to buy. So I made a simple chart with simple steps to remind you what to look for. In this case, we are going to start with the exterior condition. Now, hopefully the car is clean and the bodies can be well checked. So you basically go around and you look for imperfections. Some scratches here and there. Here looks like they've hit something fairly recently even. Here as well. Nothing major, but definitely some touch-up to do. Also check at the windshield, make sure it's not cracked. This case looks good. This car is equipped with the keyless entry, so you can test that it works great. Next, check the tires. This case they look fairly new as well as the mag wheels. No major damage on them. Make sure all 4 tires match, as well as the mags. Now, when the car is equipped with mags, the disc brakes are easy to check on. In this case, they're not new, but they're still good. You can check the ones at the front as well. Same thing. Next thing, turn the steering wheel and using your phone, you can take a look at the mechanical components. Just to check if there is any grease that is leaking from the parts or if they're all leaking. Everything do look good and dry, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the exterior condition has been checked. Next, we have the engine condition. Open up the hood. And listen to the engine. One of the most common issue with the Sorento is a noisy ticking or knocking engine. So listen carefully. This case, the engine sounds good and smooth. While you're here, look around for anything that looks misplaced. If anything looks original, if anything is missing. You can also look under the engine while it's running to make sure that there is no grease, there is no oil leaking, and that everything looks dry. Since it's a 4x4, there is also the rear differential that you can look at and make sure that it's also dry and not leaking oil. It's the part that's over here, and it looks dry. There is no exhaust leak, so everything looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the engine condition is good. Next is the interior condition. Start with the door, look at the panels. Everything looks good. The seats, not torn, not broken. They look good. Steering wheel looks good as well. Horn works. This car has a rear view camera that is also working. check the windshield wipers. They're working, and the rear ones too working. Now, since it's summer, it's perfect for checking the AC if it's working. So turn it on, make sure it's cold. It's kind of expensive to fix the AC system, so check it out. Open the rear trunk. This is there. This is the security key for the anti-theft wheel nut, so that at least you have it. Everything else looks good. Try and opening all the windows. Make sure they work on all 4 doors. Interior condition looks good. Now the test drive. When you're driving the car, don't be shy and take the time to test it correctly. Drive it within city, test the brakes, then drive it on the highway, test the stability, make sure that there is no noise, no vibrations, that everything looks good. Although everything drives good on the highway and the brakes are good, I can still in the potholes feels like both suspensions at the front have components that need to be checked because they are making noise. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with the drive. So don't forget to also drive the car at least until the engine reaches normal operating temperature to make sure it doesn't heat up. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the test drive is done. Next is the mileage. So you've been around the car, you've tested everything, and you look at it, so you kind of have an idea on the actual mileage of the car. This case says 180,000, which sounds good to me. I don't feel like it has been tempered. Look around for any lights like the check engine or ABS or thing like that. In this case, we only have the airbag light on, which probably means that this car has most probably been into an accident. This light usually goes on when any of the airbags explode due to a crash, and it can only go off when you change the complete airbag system. When you only change one component, this light doesn't go off. Now, one more thing that you have to do is turn off the car, then turn it back on without starting the car. Just turn the car on without starting the engine, so you can take a look at all the lights and make sure they're here, that nobody turned them off manually. They can go behind the dashboard and break the LED light to turn manually off the light. So in this case, I can see that the check engine is there, the battery light is there, handbrake, oil light, so everything looks here. Nothing to be afraid of. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the mileage has been checked. Last is the VIN check. Now, you want to make sure that you're not buying a stolen car. So first thing you do, you check the VIN number. You check that the VIN plate is hard to remove and that is not a simple sticker. It looks good. Then you can check and compare with the VIN under the windshield. Make sure it also doesn't look like it has been tampered with. Under the passenger seat in the Sorento, you can find a third place to check the VIN. Make sure it matches all the others. Now in this case, I'm pretty confident that this car is not stolen nor cloned. Next thing you can do, if you have a keyless key, They are very easy to program, and this is how today in the modern world they steal cars. They only program the push start type of cars. Now, one thing they will not do is replace and cut the safety key. So usually a stolen car, most of the cases says that it will come without the safety key. Most of the cases. So because it takes equipment and it takes time to cut it, so they don't bother with it. They only need to program the key, the keyless key, in order to start the car, since it's a push start. So it's a good indication that the car might be stolen. In this case, everything's there. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the VIN has been checked. So this is only part one of your work. If you're happy with the car and you think that it's a good choice, next step that I would suggest is to still take it to a mechanic so he can lift it up and make sure that there is no major damage under the car and that it's safe. What I would also suggest is to choose a mechanic that is close from the seller's place, so he doesn't have to cancel with you because you're taking him too far. There is too much demand on cars today, and so it's not too hard for a seller to find another client. Make it easy for him and choose a close by garage that can inspect the car for you. Don't forget that you can quickly go on Google and check what are the most common issues people talk about. Here, for example, they say engine stalling, transmission shudders, faulty check engine light. What do we have else? Here, oops, wait a minute. Low beam headlights not working, probably tail lights and interior light as well faulty, cargo door start. Many things that are kind of easy to check in the quick test drive and walk around. So don't forget to make your homework before you go and check your cars. So I do hope I was helpful and that you liked this video. Hopefully, well, good luck with your purchase.